what would you like to say to all your fans and supporters that were rooting for you here today?
All right, look, apparently the entire commentary community is just playing video game and you talk a bit, so let's do that. That'll be easy. Idubbbz is alarmingly correct, and I get that he doesn't have a lot of people going to bat for him because he's perennially bullied and his fan base is a lot of man children and terminally online grognards. So I thought, you know what? Let me play an old, out-of-date video game and ramble on like an idiot. I mean, that's basically what Nick Diorios does, and he's got 250,000 subs. Ha-ha! I mean, it can't be this hard. So, let's start with the basics. Idubbbz was right. I understand that we all liked Idubbbz back when he was the edgelord king. And Content Cop was like fun, and edgy YouTube was in, and the adpocalypses hadn't really started yet. So Idubbbz, being someone who spends a lot of time slurring on YouTube, is very appealing. My favorite quote of his ever is, "Belch, rape is good." I don't think you should apologize for that, by the way. That's kind of a bitch move. But this isn't about all the times Idubbbz has been wrong. There has been an awful lot of videos about that, and I'd like to sort of show the other side of this coin. Idubbbz was in fact right. When the adpocalypses hit, he should change his content to pivot to stay relevant and popular. He noticed, like a lot of people did, most of his audience is impressionable middle schoolers, and he probably wanted to pivot his content to them. Oh, look, squirrels. Oh, look, toys. Are these a 20-year-old's idea of what a 10-year-old thinks is funny? Yes. Is that why his content is bad now? Yes. Should he focus on something more relevant to him while keeping his energy going? Yes. Did he try that with the documentary and have tremendous successes? Yes. Was he right to pivot his content into documentaries and, I guess, creator boxing? Yes. At the end of the day, he's totally right to want to pivot away from just being the content cop guy. He's totally right to want to try new things and build them out. And so calling him like a simp or a cuck or whatever is stupid. But that's a middle school move. That's what middle schoolers do. And you know who is also probably in his ear helping him do this? If I have to listen to another commentary channel by a guy who is single shit talk a married man's wife, I'm gonna tear my own fucking face off. I don't mind when Ethan criticizes Anissa for being like mean or bad. He has like a wife and a relationship and can speak from a level of perspective. But when I have to listen to like wannabe fame hog and constant failure Sam Hyde go, "Oh, we need to get Ethan away from Yoko Ono over there." Well, no. Nobody will love Sam Hyde, despite the fact that he has lots and lots of money, and apparently women want to have sex with him. No woman will actually love him. That is not a thing that is in his world. He does not know what that's like, and he cannot make it happen. He is a hateful piece of shit freak. And this keeps cropping up, by the way, in Idubbbz criticizers. They keep saying, like he's a shithole and Anissa's like a corrupt little wench. And like she's like ruining his life and stuff. But like my issue with all that level of discourse is that the people having it are by and large not married. And the thing about a marriage is there's a level of it that's compromised. It's just part of it. When I got married, I had to compromise things about me. And if you ever want to be lovable, you'll have to compromise things about you. I don't necessarily know that Anissa's OnlyFans is the worst thing in the world. But I can see if you're 12 years old and you're like, "But you gotta be like an alpha Chad. Your wife can't be some whore," right? Like, taking offense to this. And to that end, I don't care. Again, I don't care about the opinions of fucking middle schoolers or these idiot 20-year-olds who've never had a girlfriend saying, well, he needs to abandon his wife. The fact is, Ian does not need to abandon Anissa. No, he's right to love her and to stand by her and to want to defend her online. She's a little too cringe, admittedly. She's definitely a white woman from Seattle. And as someone who's been to Seattle and met a white woman or two, she acts exactly like they all do. She's got that same level of problem that every Northwest white woman has. But to both their credits, Ammonranth is way more whored out than Anissa ever will be and catches absolutely zero flack for being a straight up prostitute to children, which is wild. She is a sex predator to 10-year-olds. No one thinks that's weird. But when Anissa puts her booty online, everyone thinks he's betrayed the cause or whatever. I don't fucking understand that dynamic at all. Maybe the commentary community can fill me in on it. You know, because when they're not busy fucking dunking on Anissa, since that's the new Reddit joke updutes to the left approved thought at the moment, they're glazing Sam Hyde. I get that when you say something like, Sam Hyde's a business risk, so he's not at our event, makes you sound like shit. I understand that. I get it. People like Sam, the constantly online like him. I understand the idea here that there was some level of collab. And if you look at it from the fans' perspective and from Sam's perspective of, I pranked you, I got a lot of new relevance, I'm very hot right now, he's funny, he's our new edgelord king, he's really hot right now, you gotta put him in your boxing show. I get that part of it. From Ian's perspective, Sam Hyde is in fact a giant piece of shit and he should not be trusted. Ian wanted to do a documentary on Sam Hyde, and I don't think his documentary is that great. I think it would have been a lot better because he could have spent some time interrogating some questions that are worth answering. The epic prank that Sam pulled that was so epic bacon pirates, which is why he got updoots for it, you know, is in fact great. He flashbanged Ian with absurd chaos for like days and then ran out of gas. And when you run out of gas, at that point, you need to have emotional vulnerability. There should be a second part of the Sam Hyde documentary where Sam is honest about what it's like to produce content when you're blacklisted from the entertainment industry, about what it's like to still try to have an audience when you cannot be platformed anywhere. That is a very interesting conversation that would be worth trying to have. And there was time in the filming schedule to have it, but Sam didn't want it. Ian says this himself in a line that feels like a throwaway gag.
Felt like yesterday was like a bit incomplete. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. We left shortly after that. For the rest of the week, Sam wasn't willing to meet up one-on-one. He kept coming up with different excuses like, you know, he was too busy or that his back hurt. And this continued for the remaining 5 days that I was in Rhode Island.
At the time, this can feel like nothing, but in reality, it's someone who knows he's out of juice. And instead of just owning up and going, okay, here's the real tour, here's the real facility, here's the real plan, they just disappear. And Sam's history is full of this kind of thing. You make a big splash with a really great idea. You flashbang a bunch of people who are not expecting anything to be this crazy. And then when asked to follow up at all with some level of emotional vulnerability for what you've done, you clam up and disappear. He launched World Peace on Adult Swim, which is a fucking crazy show. And he flashbanged an audience with the most insane shit people had ever seen. And when held to any level of accountability or task, he could have pulled a Tarantino and been like, I just think it's funny, maybe you don't. But he didn't do that. No, he got scared and he lashed out and he clammed up and then he walked away from the entertainment industry and never came back. Never tried again. Didn't post wild shit on YouTube. Didn't try to make sketches on Rumble. Didn't want to promote his brand outside of his nice little MDE.TV paywall, where only his hardcore audience could come in and support him and rub his ego and make him feel good. That has been Sam for the last decade. His shit little podcast sucks because no one wants to listen to it. They have like a handful of clips and all of them have edgy title names and none of them are any good because they're just shit. It's just shit. He's not good at it. His boxing event also fucking floundered. He owns part of Happy Punch, or at least that's what I've been led to believe, and he fucking can't put that shit together. Meanwhile, Creative Crash is still growing strong. If a guy who had spent 3 days flashbanging me with pranks and then disappearing started trying to come to my fucking shows, yeah, you're goddamn right, I would have a problem with him. Fuck yeah, I'd ban that guy in a fucking heartbeat. You're right. The dude who stole my documentary and then reframed it as a hilarious Epic Bacon Pirates prank show on me, and then when I needed to then film a documentary, wasted 3 days of my and my team's time, and then gave us some gay poster. Yeah, that guy, fuck him. Fuck him. He should fuck off. I get that he's good at training. And frankly, banning Froggy Fresh was a bad idea. Should you have let Froggy Fresh fight? Yes. But is he also 1000% right to completely distance himself from Sam Hyde and never want to fucking talk to this guy ever again? Yes. Is Sam Hyde a piece of shit you shouldn't work with? Yes. Are you right to want to disown this guy? Yes. But in the nature of disowning, we can't just disown Sam Hyde. We have to disown I didn't care a lot about Ethan Klein kind of before or really since. Like, I followed the FUPA thing lightly at the time. I can't stress how little of a shit I give to commentary channels catching flack for being edgelords. If my shitty video catches flack, I also won't give a shit. But, like, I'm glad they won, and it seems like it was good for fair use. He's 1000% right to turn on Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein has fallen off all kinds of wagons and all kinds of rails and is going into territory that is just absolute lunacy. I don't know in which order I kind of want to cover this shit about Ethan, but let's just start with them in the order that I think of them. So we'll start with number 1.
Ethan deserved the CPS investigation.
As someone who worked with CPS a lot as a child, because I grew up in and out of foster care, and as someone whose family continues to work as CPS special investigators, I want to say that you're right to be skeptical of that agency, and you are double right to assume that they should probably be dismantled. I'm not here to say CPS is a good agency that is doing the right thing. I am here to say that if Ethan Klein went on a national broadcast program and spoke through not just with direct watchers, but maybe indirect through clips and re-uploads and the way the internet spreads its information, said to about 1 million people, my dog gets the dog shit eating disease that you get from eating dog shit. And my kids who are crawling around the house have the dog shit eating disease you get from eating dog shit because they keep putting stuff in their mouth. And now they have the dog shit eating disease you get when you eat dog shit. Now my wife and maybe even me have the dog shit eating disease you get when you eat dog shit. It's not crazy to assume that 1 out of 1 million people would go, hey, maybe the kids over there are being forced to eat dog shit. We should look into this. And they called somebody. And if there was like a service you could call when you think kids are in danger to help protect kids, you know, you're not trying to like destroy anybody's lives or send them to jail. You just want to make sure the kids are protected. The children are protected with some kind of service, some kind of, I don't know, child protective services, I guess. Like, I don't know what else you would call that. If you could call that number and like a person would go to Ethan Klein's house and say, hey, somebody said that you were on a national television program talking about how everyone in your house is eating dog shit and has the dog shit eating disease. Can I just make sure that your kids aren't eating dog shit? You know, that's not like crazy. Right? Can we all agree that's a normal thing to assume somebody would have happen to them? Because it fucking is. It is a normal thing to assume somebody would have happen to them. But maybe Ethan isn't normal. Maybe...
Is Ethan doing drugs?
Remember how I said earlier that I grew up in foster? Yeah, it turns out the reason I did that is because all of my parents were fucking drug addicts. So I sort of know what erratic drug addict behavior looks like. I'm not here to say that I'm an expert. I'm just here to say that I know that things look off. In the earlier Ethan Klein H3 videos that I remember, and maybe it's more there than it is now, in all of the content I ever saw, when you look at a Vape Nation or the commentary videos or whatever, I don't recall him sniffing as much as he does now and staring at his hands and being sort of jittery with these physical tics. If he had Tourette's then, it is worse now, which maybe is something that happens with age. I am not a doctor, but I do know that frequent sniffing and being agitated and irritable and having a lot of physical energy and shakiness and twitchiness that he seems to have are all symptoms of drug use, usually an upper, typically an amphetamine, possibly cocaine, something along those lines. Again, not saying he's on drugs. I am saying he needs to have a really high level of energy for multiple hours at a time for his daily live stream broadcast, and who doesn't want a little performance enhancer to get you through the day? I could be wrong. I don't have any hardline evidence that Ethan Klein is doing drugs. I'm not here to say that he definitely is. What I am here to say is, why doesn't AB or Lena take a day at random on his show and make him pee? He could pee clean right there, beat all the allegations, and totally be fine. Because it wouldn't be hard to pee, and it would be funny. You could say, and maybe some will, that being forced to pee in a cup to drug test yourself is like gross and degrading and totally off-brand. But this is the guy who said that him and his whole family gets the dog shit eating disease you get when you eat dog shit. So maybe it's not necessarily above his level of content. Plus, it would be fucking funny to watch him have to pee test. It would prove all the haters wrong if it was clean, and if it was dirty, it'd be hilarious for a million years. I don't know if he'll take it up on him. He doesn't have to. I have one subscriber. Aunt Janine, I love that you watch my videos, and I like that you like them. Big ups.
Ethan is wrong about Israel.
I would only want to wade into this part of the conversation, since it seems to be a driving factor for this whole amount of drama, to say the following as clear as I can. Nobody is having an honest conversation about Israel. Nobody is. And as such, everyone is wrong. Hassan is wrong. Idubbbz is wrong. Ethan is wrong. Denims is wrong. Destiny is wrong. Any other political streamer you want to put here, at most political pundits you want to put here are wrong. Tucker is wrong. Donald Trump is wrong. No one, and I mean no one, is having an honest conversation about this thing, because when you do, you get destroyed politically. When you try to have an honest conversation about Israel on any platform of size, millions of dollars are mobilized to destroy you. That's just how that works. I'd prefer that we don't use it to spin anything up, because I don't like being on edge about it at all. But frankly, if you're going to talk about it, be honest and have integrity, or shut the fuck up about it. And until that is happening, it's just irritating to have to listen to. Okay? All right. I want to talk a little bit about the Idubbbz hate industrial complex, or the IHIC, of which, like Nicholas Diorio very much is a part. And I just want to say, I want to use him as a case study. I'm not here to say that he is the only one doing this, just that he's representative of sort of a vibe. When you look at Nick's channel, you see that any of his videos about Idubbbz have much higher view counts than his videos not about Idubbbz. It's not that Nick doesn't want to talk about Idubbbz, it's that he's financially incentivized to do it, especially if it's negative. Controversy creates cash, and clout chasing Idubbbz is great for the commentary community metrics. I understand what's going on here. The only thing that I would like to state clearly is that I disagree with the dishonesty in which you are representing yourselves. I feel like you have a lot of strong points. You're totally right to chastise his new content shitting. He absolutely dropped the bag with Creator Clash 2. Sorry, not Content Cop. The new Content Cop isn't what we're used to seeing from an old Content Cop. Editing should be tighter. There should be more cutaways. That Connor pervert, he did one on Ian that actually looked really good. Like, that's sort of the kind of energy people are wanting from a Content Cop. He did great at it. But you got to understand, if your entire brand is I hate Idubbbz plus he sucks now, you should at least own that. Like, you should own that. Like, if you want to put up a Wiggler or a t-shirt or whatever that says I hate Idubbbz for money, I think that's fine. Like, we'll hate Idubbbz for money is a fine slogan to describe like the Nick Diorios of the world. And I don't necessarily think it's like incorrect to fly under that banner. I would just like you flying under that banner to be more honest and transparent about what you guys are doing. It's misleading to your impressionable 6-year-old fans when you play the Fortnite game and they go, oh, Fortnite, like in middle school. And when I go to middle school, I want to play Fortnite too. Right? Like those guys. And then you say that Idubbbz is the shit. Then they go, no, Idubbbz is the shit. I heard about it from Fortnite, man. When that's going on, I would at least like you to go, remember, I only hate Idubbbz for money. I don't know him. I've never talked to him. Maybe he's a nice person. I just do this for money, which would be fine. Again, you're not being honest about what you're doing. And in conclusion, Idubbbz is right, asterisk, about a lot of things, asterisk, except for the times when he wasn't. Does Idubbbz deserve criticism? Yeah, totally. You fucking should criticize the guy. Does he deserve criticism at the level he's getting for specifically the things he's doing? No. And when Ethan Klein sent skulls to himself so he could talk about it on stream, that shit's hilarious. I don't know how nobody picked up that he sent him to himself, but he did, unless you have evidence proving otherwise, and I don't think you do. All right, cool, thanks, bye.